After Election Day, the Romero family gathers for their weekly family dinner. Abuela is excited to hear about everyone's Election Day experience. Unfortunately, there were more challenges to vote than expected. Nadine's polling place did not have bilingual election judges for Spanish speakers. She left feeling rejected. Charlie and Nicole tried to go to their assigned polling place, but without early voting hours, they had to leave the line so that they could go to work. Ronnie was not notified that his polling location had changed. When he arrived at the new location, the line was wrapped around the block. Carla was ready to vote for the first time and had an ID, but it was unclear that her ID needed a photo. Abuela's polling place is not wheelchair accessible. She applied for an absentee ballot, but the ballot never arrived. As you can see, voter suppression has many faces. We define voter suppression as any action, either legal or illegal, aiming at preventing people from registering to vote or voting. And there are many ways voter suppression has shown up in the U.S. For example, in the 2000 presidential election, thousands of registered voters were denied because of mistaken identity as a result of voter purging. Also, in Florida, the Felon Disenfranchisement Law was passed in 1868 to prevent formerly incarcerated people from voting. The law aimed at newly emancipated African Americans who, during slavery, were more likely to be arrested. Over 100 years later, and this law is still disproportionately affecting African Americans. In Kentucky, voter suppression showed up during the 2020 Democratic primaries when polling places were cut by 95%. Locations dropped from 3,700 to 170 for the entire state. In the county with the largest Black population, there was one polling location for 600,000 registered voters. Voter suppression is not new. In the 19th and 20th centuries, Jim Crow laws included poll taxes and literacy tests, obstacles intended to discourage Black voters. So, in what ways have our ancestors fought voter suppression? In 1974, Willie Velazquez and other Mexican-American political activists founded the Southwest Voter Registration Education Project. They created Latinx academies to train community leaders in grassroots organizing and mobilization tactics. Their mission is to galvanize Latinx people to vote and encourage Latinx political participation and leadership. Another initiative was the Mississippi Summer Project, a campaign to increase the number of registered Black voters in Mississippi. In 1964, more than 1,000 out-of-state volunteers traveled to small towns in Mississippi. Despite the physical violence and racist opposition to this campaign, the volunteers carried on their mission of registering Black voters. Our ancestors fought to overcome voter suppression for centuries, and we call on you to lead the fight today. Voter suppression in all forms is a violation of our basic rights. During the election cycles, we challenge you to honor the right that our Black and Latinx ancestors have strived to achieve for centuries.